Hi and welcome. Raju eats rice. Raju ate rice. Raju will eat rice. In these three sentences, the subject Raju and the object rice is common, right? Then what is changing? The verb eat is changing. In the first sentence, it is eats. In the second, it is ate. In the third sentence, it is will eat. If we change the verb form in these sentences, what happens? The entire meaning of the sentences will change, right? Not only that, the tense of these sentences will change. Only because of the form of a verb, the entire tense of a sentence will change. So in English language, the form of a verb changes the tense of a sentence. So form of a verb is very important in English language. So in this video, you are going to learn about English tenses, and you would understand what is tense and how many kinds of tenses are there in English language. Shall we start? But before we start, if you haven't subscribed my channel, I would be really very happy if you please click on the subscription bell like buttons and do share the video so that I would come up with many this kind of videos. And if you're ready, let's start. Welcome back. In English, we have to understand the time and tense. Tense and time are different. They are not same. For example, if you take time, time is a universal concept of 3 units. Like unit 1 is the present time, number 2 the past time, and number 3 the future time. These 3 units are very common all over the world, and it is not changeable. It's common and we cannot change them. Whereas what is tense? Tense is a grammatical point or grammatical concept, and it is a form of verb. So tense is a form of verb in English language, and what does it do? This form of verb will tell us whether the action has already started or is continuing now, or was completed in the past, or yet to start in the future. So this form of a verb tells us how an action is taking place in a sentence. So we have to understand the tense and time both are different in English language. A bit confused? Let us try to understand them in examples. If you see them in sentences, she is going to college now. So this sentence is in present tense and now. So it is present time. It is talking about present time. In the next sentence, she is going abroad next month. So here the form of verb is going. It is present tense. The sentence is in present tense, but next month is not present time, it is a future time. So here present tense sentence is talking about future time, future action. In the next sentence, if you went to US now, you could make lot of money. So here the verb is went. So past tense. The sentence is in past tense, and what about the action? Now. So now is a present time. So it is talking about present time, present action. So the sentence is in past tense, but the time is present time. And if you see in the next sentence, if they sold the house next year, we would buy it. So this sentence, the verb form is sold. So past tense. So the sentence is in past tense, whereas it is talking about we would buy it, future time. So future action. So sentence is in past tense but talking about future time. In a similar manner, in the next sentence, I get up by 4 o'clock every day. The sentence is in present tense, get up, whereas it is talking about the past, present and future action. So it's a regular activity. So by these examples, we can understand in English language, tense and time both are different. So we cannot come to a conclusion that present tense talks about only present tense, past talks about only past time. No, that is not right. We have to understand the form of a verb and the time, then only we can understand the tense in a proper manner. So when it comes to English language, there are three tenses. Basically, we can divide the tenses into three categories. The first one is present tense, the second one is past tense, the third one is future tense. And all these three tenses have four aspects, and let us know them also. The first one is present tense. So present tense have four aspects, like the first one is present simple tense, second one present continuous tense, third one present perfect tense, and the fourth one present perfect continuous tense. The second one is past tense. It also has four aspects. The first one is simple past tense, the second one is past continuous tense, the third one is past perfect tense, the fourth one is past perfect continuous tense, and the third one is future tense. It also has four aspects. The first one is simple future tense, and the second one is future continuous tense, third one is future perfect tense, and the fourth one is future perfect continuous tense. So all these three tenses have four aspects. Then all 3 into 4, we have 12 active sentences, active tenses in English language. And not only that, we have 3 persons in English language, subject, 3 subjects. That is first person singular I, first person plural we, second person singular you, second person plural you, third person singular, we have 3 here, he, she, it, and third person plural is they. And now let us take all the tenses and try to understand the structure of a sentence in each tense. The first one is simple present tense, and if you take the first person singular, the subject is I. So the sentence structure will be I write, and plural we write, second person singular you write, second person plural you write, third person singular he writes, she writes, and third person plural they write. And this is how all the tenses will be having the structures in different manners. And the second one is present continuous tense. First person I am writing, plural we are writing, second person singular you are writing, plural you are writing, third person singular he, she is writing, plural they are writing. Third tense, present perfect tense. First person singular I have written, plural we have written, second person singular you have written, plural you have written, third person singular he, she has written, plural they have written. Fourth tense is present perfect continuous tense. First person singular I have been writing, plural we have been writing, second person singular you have been writing, plural you have been writing, third person singular he or she has been writing, plural they have been writing. And this is all about present tense. And now the past tense starts. Fifth one is simple past tense. First person singular I wrote, plural we wrote, second person singular you wrote, plural you wrote, third person singular he, she, it wrote, plural they wrote. And the sixth one is past continuous tense. First person singular I was writing, plural we were writing, and second person singular you were writing, plural you were writing, and third person singular he, she, it was writing, plural they were writing. And the seventh one is past perfect tense. The first person singular I had written, plural we had written, second person singular you had written, plural you had written, third person singular he, she, it had written, plural they had written. And the eighth one is past perfect continuous tense. The first person singular is I had been writing, plural we had been writing, and second person singular you had been writing, plural you had been writing, and third person singular he, she, it had been writing, and plural they had been writing. This is all about past tense. Now let us start the future tense. And the ninth one is simple future tense. The first person singular is I will write. Plural, we will write. And second person singular, you will write. Plural, you will write. And third person singular, he, she, it will write. Plural, they will write. And the 10th one, future continuous tense. First person singular, I will be writing. Plural, we will be writing. And second person singular, you will be writing. Plural, you will be writing. Third person singular, he, she, it will be writing. Plural, they will be writing. And the 11th one is future perfect tense. First person singular, I will have written. Plural, we will have written. Second person singular, you will have written. Plural, you will have written. Third person singular, he, she, it will have written. Plural, they will have written. And the last one, 12th one, future perfect continuous tense. First person singular, I will have been writing. Plural, we will have been writing. Second person singular, you will have been writing. Plural, you will have been writing. Third person singular, he, she, it will have been writing. And plural, they will have been writing. So these are all the 12 active structures in English language. So this is the basic information that we have to understand if you really want to know about tenses. So I hope you have understood what is tense, what is time, and what is the difference between tense and time, and how many kinds of tenses are there in English language. Hi and welcome. Raju writes a letter. Raju is writing a letter. Raju has written a letter. Raju has been writing a letter. In these 4 sentences, the subject Raju and the object letter is common, right? But what is changing? Of course, the form of a verb is changing. And so, the tense of all these sentences is changed. So, of course, all 4 sentences belong to same tense, that is present tense, but their usage is entirely different from one to other. And how different it is? So, in this video, we are going to learn about present tense and kinds of present tense and how these tenses are used for different purposes. Shall we start? Welcome back. Present tense has basically 4 aspects. The first one is present simple tense, the second one is present continuous tense, third one is present perfect tense, and the fourth one is present perfect continuous tense. And now let us try to know about each one and how they are used, in what context they are used in a better manner. The first one is a simple present tense. It is also called as present indefinite tense, and the structure of a sentence, how a sentence will be in simple present tense. The subject plus verb 1. Verb 1 is nothing but the first form of a verb. For example, I play, we play, you play, you play, he, she, it plays, they play. These are all the persons, subjects we have in English language. And if you see the third person singular, he, she, it plays. Instead of saying play, we added s, an extra letter s, and it becomes plays. Why? So it is very, very important. Always in simple present tense, third person singular, a verb takes s or es to the base form. For example, if there is a word like go, it's a verb, right? It takes es because the verb go ends with o sound, that is vowel sound. That's the reason it takes es and it becomes goes, which means he goes, she goes, it goes. That is how we have to say. Whereas if it ends with, if a verb ends with a consonant sound, it takes only s. In a similar manner, play ended with y, that is a consonant sound, so we wrote only S, no ES, only S. That's the reason it became plays, which means he plays, she plays, it plays. So this is very important. Most of the time in competitive examinations there will be a question from this area. And when this tense is used, when a simple present tense is used, simple present tense is used widely in our day-to-day conversations. There are many more usages. Let's try to take some of them and try to understand. There we use simple present tense to talk about regular activities and universal truths, habitual actions, quotations, announcements. So these are all the basic areas where we use simple present tense. And there are some keywords we can understand by looking at these keywords that this sentence belongs to simple present tense. Those keywords are usually, generally, commonly, often, frequently, seldom, rarely, always, ever, never, every day, daily, every Sunday, every month, every year, etc. So these are all the words, keywords that will guide us to know about this simple present tense. Let us try to take some examples and understand in a better manner. The first one is I watch movies regularly. It is a regular activity, daily. So we do this activity regularly. It has to be in simple present tense only. In the second sentence, the sun rises in the east. It's a fact. It's a universal truth. We cannot change. So universal truths also should be in simple present tense. In the next sentence, we always eat chicken. It's a habitual action. So habitual, regularly, habit, all the habits, all habitual actions should be in simple present tense only. So we always eat chicken is a regular activity, so it is an habitual action, so it has to be in simple present tense. In a similar manner, in the next sentence, empty vessels make noise. It's a quotation, so it's a quote, so it's a truth and quote also, so they should be in simple present tense. In the next sentence, the train leaves at 7 p.m. We may be talking this at 12 p.m. but we are talking about 7 p.m. future time, because it is a fixed schedule and it will certainly leave at 7 p.m. Not only that, it is also an announcement. So fixed schedules also should be written or spoken in simple present tense. So simple present tense simply has a structure of subject plus verb 1 and third person singular takes SRES, and it is used for regular activities, universal truths, habitual actions, quotations and announcements. And the second one in the present tense is present continuous tense. It is also called present progressive tense and it is also called present imperfect tense. And the structure of a sentence in present continuous tense is subject plus am, is, are plus verb 1 plus ing form. So here the helping verbs am, is, are used, and am is used with only the first person singular I, is used with third person singulars he, she, it, and are is used with all the plural subjects. And for example, if you see them in the examples, I am playing, we are playing, you are playing, you are playing, he is playing, she is playing, they are playing. So this is the basic structure of a sentence in present continuous tense. And now when this particular tense is used, so this particular tense is used for all ongoing actions in the present tense. For example, the actions which are taking place at the time of speaking. So for such kind of activities we use present continuous tense, and there are certain keywords. These words help us to use this sentence in an effective manner. They are now, right now, at this moment, at present, at this instant, listen, look, see here, don't disturb, till. These are all the different words which will help us to use this particular tense in a better manner. And let us see some examples how this particular tense is used. I am watching TV now. So now I am doing it, right? So this is in present continuous tense. Right now we are listening to the music. So right now, at present it is happening. So we are listening to the music. So it is in present continuous tense. Look, she is dancing. So look means you have to look, she is presently dancing. So it is in present continuous tense. Don't disturb, he is studying. Activity is going on. Studying is going on. Listen, the children are shouting. So shouting, they are now shouting. So present continuous tense is used to talk about all ongoing actions, the actions which are happening at the time of speaking. The structure is very simple. It has a subject, am, is, are, plus verb 1 plus ing form. And the third tense in present tense is present perfect tense. The structure of a sentence in present perfect tense is subject plus have or has plus verb 3, which means third form of a verb, that is past participle of a verb. And have is used for all plural subject and I, first person singular also. And has is used for third person singular subjects. For example, if you see them in sentences, I have played, we have played, you have played, you have played, he has played, she has played, it has played, they have played. And these are all the basic structures of a sentence in present perfect tense. And this particular tense is used to talk about the actions that are completed just now. Not only that, completed actions which have some effect in the present or which are related to the present somehow. So for such kind of situations, for such kind of occasions, we use this particular tense. And there are certain words which guide us to identify or use this particular tense in an effective manner. They are the keywords. The keywords are like just now, yet, already, ever, never, so far, till now, up to now, until now, by now, recently, lately, etc. These words will help us to use this particular word present perfect tense in a better manner. Let us take some examples and try to understand it in a better manner. I have taken tea in the morning. So you are talking in the afternoon that you have taken tea in the morning. So it is just completed in the morning. So I have taken tea in the morning. Not I took two in the morning when you are talking in the afternoon. So in the second sentence, we have watched a song just now. So we have watched a song just now, 1 hour ago or 2 hours ago. That's it, in a near past. In the next sentence, she has already written the exam. So she completed 1 hour ago. So she has already completed. So near completed action. So it's a just completed action. So next sentence, he hasn't returned till now. So till now he hasn't returned. It is not yet completed. It's a negative sentence. In the next sentence, they have moved here recently. So the action was done 2-3 days ago, but the action's impact is there in the present. So that's the reason this sentence is also belongs to present perfect tense. The structure of a sentence in present perfect tense is subject plus have or has plus verb 3, and it is used for all the completed actions in the near past, which means the actions that are completed just now. And not only that, the actions which are completed which have the effect in the present. And the fourth tense in present tense is present perfect continuous tense. It is also called present perfect progressive tense. The structure of a sentence in present perfect continuous tense is subject plus have or has plus been plus verb 1 plus ing form. So have, we already know it is used for all plural subjects, and I also. Has, automatically it is used for the third person singular subject, he, she, it. If you see them in the examples, I have been playing, we have been playing, you have been playing, you have been playing, he has been playing, she has been playing, it has been playing, they have been playing. So these are all the basic structures of present perfect continuous tense. And when this particular tense is used, and this particular tense is used to talk about or denote an action begin in the past, continuing up to now, and maybe possible to continue in the future also. So started in the past, continuing now, it may continue in the future also. For such kind of occasions, for such kind of situations, we use present perfect continuous tense. And one more important thing, the keywords here are, there are two keywords. They are since and for. Basically these two words are prepositions. Since is used to talk about or to denote a point of time, that is when an action began in the sentence. So since is used to talk about a point of time when that particular action has begun, whereas for is used to denote how long that particular activity has taken place, which means the period of time, how much time that particular activity has taken place. That is the slightest difference, and you have to remember it in this particular tense. It's very, very important also. Let us take some examples and try to understand these since and for in a better manner. The first one is, I have been watching TV since 5 p.m. So this fellow started watching TV at 5 p.m. So action started at 5 p.m. and he may be talking at 10 p.m. but the action started at 5 p.m. So that's the reason since. So since 5 p.m. he has been watching. The activity started at 5 p.m. It is continuing. He may further continue to watch also. That's the reason I have been watching TV since 5 p.m. So since, why since? The action started at 5 p.m. In the next sentence, he has been learning English for 6 years. For 6 years. 6 years is a total period of time. He started learning English 6 years ago and it is continuing even now also. So it's entire time. So the total period of a time, 6 years. He may continue further also. That's the reason it's a period of time. So for is used here. He has been learning English for 6 years. In a similar manner, in the next sentences, we have been waiting for Amelia since 10 a.m. Activity started at 10 a.m. So since. In the next sentence, it has been raining for 2 hours. Period of time 2 hours. So for 2 hours. In the next sentence, she has been suffering from fever since 2 days. She has been suffering from fever since Sunday. So action started on Sunday. So that's the reason since. So this is how since, for are used. Since is used to talk about point of time, that is when an action began, whereas for is used to talk about period of time, that is how long that activity has taken place in a sentence. So present perfect continuous tense is used to talk about an action which started in the past, continuing in the present, maybe continuing in the future also. And the structure of a sentence in the present perfect tense is subject plus have or has plus been plus verb 1 plus ing form. So I think you understood now. When I say Raju writes a letter, which means he writes a letter regularly every day. Whereas if I say Raju is writing a letter, which means he is writing now at present. So it's going on activity. Whereas if I say Raju has written a letter just now, he has completed writing a letter just now, 1 hour ago. Or if I say Raju has been writing a letter, which means he started writing a letter in the morning, he may be continuing even now also, and he may continue after 1 hour also. So this is the basic difference among all these 4 sentences. So I hope you have understood how all these 4 different kinds of tenses of present tense are used to serve different purposes of our language. Hi and welcome. Raju wrote a letter. Raju was writing a letter. Raju had written a letter. Raju had been writing a letter. And all these 4 sentences have same subject, that is Raju, and object, that is a letter. And what is changing? The form of a verb is changed in all 4 sentences. And this changed form of a verb will serve 4 different purposes, which means it is served in 4 different contexts. It is used in 4 different contexts, and all 4 different contexts are different. They are not same. So, and obviously all the 4 sentences belong to only one tense, that is past tense, since the form of a verb is in past form. So in this video you are going to learn about past tense and kinds of past tense, and how these kinds of past tense is used to serve different purposes in language. Shall we start? Welcome back. Past tense is divided into 4 aspects. The first one is past simple tense, the second one is past continuous tense, third one is past perfect tense, and the fourth one is past perfect continuous tense. And now let us try to know about each tense and how, when it is used. The first one is simple past tense. It is also called past indefinite tense. The structure of a sentence in simple past tense is subject plus verb to, that is second form of the verb, that is past form of the verb. The sentences will be like this: I played, we played, you played, he, she, it played, they played. So here played is a second form of the verb, that is past form of a verb. So when this particular tense, simple past tense, is used, so it is used for all the completed actions in the past. So whatever actions completed in the past till yesterday, we use simple past tense, and there are certain words which are used in this tense. So they are called keywords. Those keywords are last week, last month, last year, yesterday, in 1947, in 1942, ago, and one more important keyword, it's time. It's a phrase actually. Whenever we use this phrase, it's time, it is a must to use simple past tense after it's time. So which means verb to, past form of a verb, should be used after its time. Let us see some examples of simple past tense. The first one is I watched a movie yesterday. So this action was completed yesterday. So yesterday is a past. So yesterday is a keyword, right? So it's in simple past tense. And the next one is we wrote the exam last year. So this exam was completed last year, not this year. So it was a past action. So it is in simple past tense. And the next one, she went home a week ago. A week ago. So week ago in the past, not this week, last week only she went. So it's in simple past tense. And then similar way, they lived in Hyderabad for 10 years. So they lived in Hyderabad for 10 years. Now they are not living. For 10 years they lived and they left. So they completed. So it's in simple past tense. And the next one is it's time we went to college. So it's time is a phrase, and after that we went to college. Not it's time we are going to college. No, that's wrong. Whenever we use it's time phrase, there should be verb to, second form of a verb, that is past form of a verb. That is the reason here we say it's time we went to college, not we are going to college. So it's time we went to college is the right expression in the simple past tense. So simple past tense is used for all the completed actions in the past, and the structure is very simple, that is the subject and verb to, past form of a verb. The second tense is past continuous tense. It is also called past progressive tense, and it is also called past imperfect tense. The structure of a sentence in this tense is subject plus was or were plus verb 1 plus ing form, and was is used for all the singular subjects and were is used for all the plural subjects. If you see the structures, I was playing, we were playing, you were playing, you were playing, he was playing, she was playing, they were playing. So these are all the basic structures of a sentence in past continuous tense. So this particular tense is used for ongoing actions in the past, actions which were taking place at a particular time in the past. Right now they are not taking place, but they were taking place at a particular time in the past. They were continuing at a particular time in the past. So for such kind of situations we use past continuous tense, and there are certain keywords which are used in this particular tense. They are at this time yesterday, at this time last Sunday, at this time then, at 10 p.m. last Sunday, at 6 p.m. yesterday, at that moment yesterday. So such kind of keywords are used in this past continuous tense. And if you take them in examples, I was watching TV at this time yesterday. So today you are talking about yesterday activity. At that time yesterday you were watching TV. Right now you are not doing, right? So in the similar manner, we were sleeping at this time then. Then we were sleeping, not now. So that was the past activity. You were continuing at this time then. So in the next sentence, she was writing an exam at 10 a.m. last Monday. So you are talking this Monday that she was writing an exam at this time last Monday. So that was completed. She was continuing at this time, but now she is not. In a similar manner, the kids were reading at that moment last week. At that moment they were reading. Kids were reading, not right now. In a similar manner, they were working at 10 p.m. last night. Last night they were working at 10 p.m., not today's night. So past continuous tense is used to talk about all these kind of activities which were happening sometime in the past. And there is one more use of past continuous tense. So past continuous tense is used to talk about temporary actions in the past and actions that began sometime in the back in the past and continuing at the given point of time in the past. So they began at some time in the past and continued up to some time in the past at a given time. So for such kind of situations we use past continuous tense. And there are certain keywords like that week, that day, between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m., between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m., between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. So such kind of keywords are used in past continuous tense, and let us try to see them in examples. I was teaching grammar that week. I am talking about that activity this week. I taught grammar. I was teaching entire week. So entire week that activity continued and I stopped. And this week I am not continuing. So that situation we have to use past continuous tense. And the next sentence, we were sleeping that day between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. So from 1 p.m. till 3 p.m. we were sleeping on Sunday, not here. So at that particular time that activity continued up to certain extent and it ended there itself. In a similar manner, she was chatting yesterday between 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. So from 7 to 11 she was chatting yesterday. So the activity started at 7, ended at 11. It continued those many hours. So such situation we use past continuous tense. In a similar manner, they were building a bridge that year. The entire year that year they were building, not this year. They started 1 year ago, they continued last year, they completed it. So for such kind of situations we use past continuous tense. And there is one more usage of past continuous tense. If there are two actions that happened in the past tense, for example, an action was taking place when some other action comes in between or takes place or took place. So when such kind of situation is there and there are two actions, so simple past tense is used for completed actions and past continuous tense is used for ongoing actions, for continuing actions. That is very, very important. Simple past for completed actions, past continuous for ongoing actions, the actions which were continuing at that point of time. And there are two keywords here, while and when. Let us see an example. I was reading a book when Ravi came to my room yesterday. So here there are two verbs, was reading, came. I was reading, so activity of reading was continuing. At that time Ravi came, so he already came, so that action completed. So that's the reason that completed action was written in simple past tense. So subject Ravi plus verb to, came. But here I was reading, so it is in past continuous tense. Subject plus was plus verb plus ing form. So that's the reason this action was completed, came. So this action was going on. While I was reading, he came. So this is the situation we have to understand. In the second sentence, while we were going to school, we saw an accident. So while we were going, accident took place. We saw, verb to. So it is in simple past tense. While we were going, it is in past continuous tense. In a similar manner, lights went off while we were reading. So lights went off while we were reading. While we were reading, past continuous tense, went off, verb to. So it's a simple past tense. So in a similar manner, the girl fell down while she was cycling. Fell down, simple past tense, while she was cycling, past continuous tense. So past continuous tense is used for all ongoing actions in the past, for some time, for a fixed time. And the structure of a sentence in past continuous tense is subject plus was or were plus verb 1 plus ing form. The third tense is past perfect tense. The structure of a sentence in past perfect tense is subject plus had plus verb 3. That is third form of a verb. That is past form of a verb. And had is used for all the subjects. And the examples are I had played, we had played, you had played, you had played, he had played, she had played, it had played, they had played. So these are all the basic structures in past perfect tense. And past perfect tense is used to talk about an action that took place before a particular time or given point of time. Before a particular time or given point of time in the past. And there are certain keywords like by this time yesterday, by 11 a.m. yesterday, by last July, by last Sunday, by last Friday, by 2020 or by 2010. So these are all the keywords that are used in past perfect tense. Not only that, and one more important point is that time phrases should be preceded by the preposition by or before. What are time phrases? By this time. So this time, yesterday, is a phrase. It's a time phrase and it is preceded by. So that is how we have to understand. And if you see them examples, they had reached here by 4 p.m. yesterday. So by 4 p.m. they had reached already, and today you are talking at 5 p.m. So that is how we have to understand. In the next sentence, she had vacated that room before this time yesterday. So you are talking about this particular activity. So she had vacated that particular room before this time. So by this time she already completed that activity. That's the reason you are saying that she had vacated that room before this time yesterday. Yesterday by this time she already completed that activity. In the next sentence, he had built that house by 2018. So you are talking in 2020 that he had already built that house by 2018. So he completed the activity of building. And the next sentence, we had completed the exams by last Friday. You are talking on Sunday that you had completed exams by last Friday. So the action was already completed in the past by a fixed time, by a particular point of time. And there is one more usage of this particular tense, past perfect tense, which is very, very important. When two actions happened, occurred in the past, the first action, which means the first occurred action, should be indicated by past perfect tense. Whereas the second occurred, which means the second happened action, should be indicated by simple past tense. So in this context we use two tenses. The first one is past perfect tense The second one is simple past tense. That is, the first completed action will be written in past perfect tense. The second completed action will be written in simple past tense. Let us see them in examples. It had got dark when we went there yesterday. So here, it had got dark. Had got is a past perfect structure. We went is a simple past tense. So there are two actions. We went there. So going there is one activity. Getting dark is another activity. Which happened first? Got dark. Getting dark happened. That's the reason it had got dark is written in past perfect tense. Whereas the second happened action is going there. That is, we went there. So that's the reason it is written in simple past tense. In a similar manner, the train had left when we reached the station. So here, had left. So before they came to the station, the train had already left. So left, the train leaving happened first. After that only they came. That's the reason the train had left is written in past perfect tense. They came is written in simple past tense. In a similar manner, the minister had come before the meeting began. So before the meeting began. So began is a simple past tense. So before that only minister came. That's the reason minister had come. So it is written in past perfect tense. In a similar manner, he came here after we had taken dinner. So after we had taken dinner, you have already completed taking dinner, then he came. So second completed action is came. So that's the reason he came is written in simple past tense, and taking dinner is the first activity. That's the reason it is written in past perfect tense, that is after we had taken dinner. So past perfect tense is used to talk about the actions that are completed before first completed actions in the past. And the structure of a sentence in the past perfect tense is subject plus had plus verb 3, that is past participle of a verb. The fourth one is past perfect continuous tense. It is also called a past perfect progressive tense. The structure of a sentence in past perfect continuous tense is subject plus had plus been plus verb 1 plus ing form, and had is used for all the subjects. And if you see the basic sentences, I had been playing, we had been playing, you had been playing, you had been playing, he, she, it had been playing, they had been playing. These are all the basic structures of this tense. So this past perfect continuous tense is used to talk about the actions which began in the past, continued up to some point of time in the past, and was possible to continue further also in the past. And for such kind of actions we use past perfect continuous tense. And there are certain keywords like by yesterday, by last January, by last Friday, by last Sunday, by last Monday. These are all the key terms that are used in past perfect continuous tense. Let us take them in some examples. I had been teaching English for 15 years by last Sunday. So by last Sunday, I completed teaching English for 15 years. So I started the activity 15 years ago. I continued it for 15 years and I ended after 15 years by last Sunday. By last Sunday, it is 15 years. I may continue now also. But I completed 15 years by last Sunday, and this is the 16th year. And that is the situation that for that we have to use past perfect continuous tense. And the next sentence, we had been living in Hyderabad for 20 years by yesterday. By yesterday, we completed living 20 years in Hyderabad. Today also we are living. But by yesterday, 20 years completed. And that is the situation. And the next sentence, she had been dancing for 30 years by last summer. And by last summer she completed 30 years. This year also she is dancing, but by last summer she completed 30 years of duration. And the next sentence, we had been working here for 40 years by last Monday. So 40 years completed by last Monday. So past perfect continuous tense is used for all the actions that began some point of time in the past, continued up to some point of time in the past, and maybe continue further also. For such kind of situations we use past perfect continuous tense. And the structure of a sentence in past perfect continuous tense is subject plus had plus been plus verb 1 plus ing form. So when I say Raju wrote a letter, which means he wrote a letter yesterday, not today. So yesterday completed. But if I say Raju was writing letter at this time yesterday, which means he was writing letter at this time at 10 a.m. yesterday. He was doing that particular work at this particular time. Whereas if I say Raju had written letter by 2 p.m. So you are talking about that activity today at 4 p.m. but he had completed that activity by 3 p.m. yesterday. Whereas if you say Raju had been writing a letter 10 times by this time yesterday. So by this time he had finished writing 10 times. Now that is the context. So all these four contexts are different and all these four sentences help us to understand four different contexts exactly how they have to be understood. So this video might have helped you to understand past tense and kinds of past tense and how a past tense is used to talk about all the completed actions of the past in the present. Hi and welcome. Raju will write a letter. Raju will be writing a letter. Raju will have written a letter. Raju will have been writing a letter. In all these four sentences, the subject Raju and the object letter are common, right? But the form of a verb is changed, and the changed form of a verb automatically serves different functions in the language. So it gives different meanings. So it is used in different ways, different situations. So all these four sentences belong to only one tense, that is future tense. So in this video we are going to talk about future tense and how this particular future tense is used to talk about some actions in the future. Shall we start? Welcome back. Future tense has four aspects, which means it is divided into four categories. The first one is future simple tense. The second one is future continuous tense. Third one is future perfect tense. And the fourth one is future perfect continuous tense. Now let us try to know more about each tense, when and how these particular tenses are used in the context. The first one is simple future tense, that is also called future indefinite tense. The structure of a sentence in simple future tense is subject plus shall or will plus verb 1, and the basic sentences like I will play, we will play, you will play, you will play, he, she, it will play, they will play. These are all the basic structures in the sentence. Normally the modal verb shall is not used in American English, and shall is used most of the time with the first person singular subject I. If I say I shall play, it is a declarative assertive sentence. I am making a statement about play, and that is important, you need to understand. And when this particular tense, simple future tense, is used, this simple future tense is used to talk about all the future actions, whatever are going to happen tomorrow in the future. We are going to use simple future tense, and there are some keywords like tomorrow, next week, next month, in 2025. These are all the keywords that we can use in simple future tense. If you see them in examples, I will buy a car tomorrow. Yesterday I did not buy, today I didn't buy, but tomorrow, so I will buy a car tomorrow. So it is in simple future tense. In a similar manner, we will give you party next week, not this week, next week, will give you next week. In a similar way, they will know their results in 2021, not this year, next year they will know. will know. It's a simple future tense. In a similar manner, she will come tomorrow, not today, will come tomorrow. So this is how we use simple future tense to talk about the future actions in a simple manner, and the structure is subject plus will or shall plus verb 1. The second one is future continuous tense. It is also called future progressive tense. The structure of a sentence in future continuous tense is subject plus shall or will plus be plus verb 1 plus ing form. The basic structure of sentences in this tense are I will be playing, we will be playing, you will be playing, you will be playing, he, she will be playing, they will be playing. These are all the basic structures in this tense, and this particular tense is used to talk about all ongoing actions in the future, which means actions that will be taking place at a particular time in the future, not now, not in the past, at a particular time in the future. And there are certain keywords that are used in this particular tense. They are at this time tomorrow, at 10 a.m. next Monday, at 6 p.m. next day, at that time next week. These are all the few keywords that are used in this tense, and let us take some examples. I will be watching movie at this time tomorrow. So at this time tomorrow you will be doing some work, that is watching movie. That's the reason I will be watching movie. You will be doing that particular work at this time tomorrow. That is fixed. So it is used in future continuous tense. In a similar manner, we will be waiting for you here at 2 p.m. tomorrow. So at 2 p.m. tomorrow we will be waiting. So we will be doing this particular activity of waiting. In a similar manner, they will be playing football between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. tomorrow. So from 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. they will be playing football tomorrow. They will be playing. In a similar manner, she will be going home at 6 p.m. tomorrow. At 6 p.m. tomorrow she will be going home. So when you come tomorrow, she will be going. You can see that activity of going. And the next sentence, he will be at home at that time next Friday. So at that particular time he will be at home. So future continuous tense is used for all ongoing actions at a particular time in the future. And the structure of a sentence of future continuous tense is subject plus shall or will plus be plus verb 1 plus ing form. The third one is future perfect tense. The structure of a sentence in future perfect tense is subject plus shall or will plus have plus verb 3, that is past participle of the verb. And the basic structures are I will have played, we will have played, you will have played, you will have played, he, she will have played, they will have played. So this particular tense, a future perfect tense, is used to talk about an action that will take place before a certain time in the future. So an action that will take place before a certain time in the future. For such kind of situations we use future perfect tense, and there are certain key words that are used here: by next Monday, by next July, by this time tomorrow morning, by 5 p.m. next week, by 2022. So these are all the key terms, key words that are used. And if you take them in the examples, I will have joined the college by next Monday. So you are talking this Monday that you will have completed this particular work of joining the college next Monday. That's the reason you are saying I will have joined the college by next Monday. So you will have completed that particular task by next Monday. In the next sentence, so we will have kept it ready by next July. So by next July, the entire thing will be kept ready. So completed. So in a similar manner, she will have completed her exams by 5 p.m. next Sunday. So by next Sunday, by 5 p.m. she will have completed. The entire task will have completed. In a similar manner, they will have eaten lunch by 12 p.m. tomorrow. So they will have completed that particular time activity, eating lunch, by 12 p.m. tomorrow. In a similar manner, he will have joined the job by 2022. So by 2022 he will have joined, he would complete that particular work of joining the job. So future perfect tense talks about an action that will take place before a certain point of time in the future, and the structure in this future perfect tense is subject plus shall or will plus have plus verb 3, that is past participle form of a verb. The fourth one is future perfect continuous tense. The structure in this particular tense is subject plus shall or will plus have plus been plus verb 1 plus ing form. So this is a structure, and the basic sentences in this tense are: I will have been playing, we will have been playing, you will have been playing, you will have been playing, he, she will have been playing, they will have been playing. These are all the basic structures in this particular tense. So this particular tense, future perfect continuous tense, is used to talk about an action that began sometime in the past, will continue up to a specific time in the future, and there may be possibility of continuing further also. For such kind of situations we use future perfect continuous tense, and there are certain keywords in this tense. They are: for 5 years by tomorrow, for 6 months by next Monday, for a decade by next month, for 3 weeks by next day, for 3 weeks by the day after tomorrow. These are all the keywords that are used in future perfect continuous tense, and if we take them in sentences, I will have been living here for 20 years by tomorrow. So I have started this activity of living here 20 years ago, and today also living, and by tomorrow I will have completed. I didn't complete today, but tomorrow I will have completed. So that is how, not today, tomorrow I will have completed 20 years living here. So when this situation is there, we have to say I will have been living here for 20 years by tomorrow. In a similar manner, we will have been running school for 100 years by 2023. So by 2023 we will have been completing running this school for 100 years, not this year. So in a similar manner, you will have been waiting for your father for 5 days by next Sunday. You have been waiting for your father, and you will have been completed 5 days by next Sunday of waiting. In a similar manner, she will have been suffering from cancer for 2 years by next month. So by next month she will have been completing her 2 months of suffering from cancer. So when an action began at some time in the past, will continue up to a specific time in the future, and there may be possibility of continuing further also. When this is a case, the future perfect continuous tense is used, and the structure of a future perfect continuous tense is subject plus shall or will plus have plus been plus verb 1 plus ing form. So I hope now you are clear whatever I have said in the beginning. So when I say Raju will write a letter, which means tomorrow he will write a letter, not today. Or else if I say Raju will be writing a letter by this time tomorrow, so by this time he will be doing that particular work of writing. Or else if I say Raju will have written a letter by this time tomorrow, so he will have completed of writing the letter by this time tomorrow. The action will have completed. Or if I say Raju will have been writing letter for 10 times by this time tomorrow, which means, so by this time tomorrow he will have completed 10 times of writing the letters. So all these 4 sentences have got 4 different purposes in the language, in the context, and they are used in different ways. So I hope you have understood what and how exactly a future tense should be used in different contexts. And if you really understand and like this video, don't forget to click on the subscription bell like buttons, and do share the video so that I will come up with many this kind of videos in the future. Thank you very much for watching the entire video.